Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about gut health. It's a hot topic these days and a lot of people have a lot of questions what it means to have good gut bugs and bad gut bugs and what it means for your overall health. So everyone's digestive system is riddled with bacteria, good and bad. This is referred to as our microbiome. A microbiome is a complex network of bacteria that form all our neurotransmitters as well as determine our weight, our health, our immune state, as well as our skin. This balance of good and bad is primarily determined by what you eat. If you eat good food full of fiber and nutrients, it actually feeds the good bacteria. If you eat a lot of processed foods, even gluten can affect the gut bugs that live inside your intestinal tract. When we have sick gut bugs or an overgrowth of bad intestinal bacteria, this is referred to as dysbiosis. So dysbiosis, or an overgrowth of bad bacteria, can be linked to mood swings, irritability, depression, anxiety, ADHD in children as well as adults, chronic diarrhea, constipation. It can also contribute to your weight overall as well as the size of your waistline. So we briefly discussed that what you eat determines the health of your intestinal bacteria. But also there's a few factors within your life that actually directly impact the intestinal health, which include being birthed by C-section, as well as if you're breastfed or not as a child. C-section babies actually don't inherit the same microbiome or intestinal bacteria from the mother that you would during vaginal birth. Secondly, when you are not breastfed as an infant, what can happen is there is no pass of probiotics or good gut bacteria from the mother. So in other words, your microbiome or the gut bacteria that you have is inherited from your mother, which is then inherited from her mother. So you actually have generations of bacteria living inside your gut. So just because you were born via C-section or just because you weren't breastfed doesn't absolutely mean that you're going to have gut health issues. You can start right now by incorporating fiber-rich foods, more whole foods, as well as probiotics, which can build your natural good bacteria. People often ask me if antibacterial and antimicrobial products affect their gut health. The truth is, yes, absolutely it does. The skin bacteria that we walk around with on our bodies all day long actually acts as our immune system. So if we're constantly using hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes, even on our food surfaces where we're cooking and cleaning and then ingesting it, we actually are compromising the skin's health, but also our gut health because you are ingesting those antibiotic or antimicrobial products, which is basically eliminating all good and bad bacteria. Unfortunately, when we do this, it gives the opportunity for the bad bacteria to regrow instead of growing the good bacteria. Furthermore, the use of oral antibiotics definitely wipe out our gut bacteria, good and bad. It doesn't differentiate between good bacteria and bad bacteria. So, anytime you're taking an antibiotic, it is always recommended that after you're finished your dosage that you would incorporate a daily probiotic to make sure that you are not overgrowing the bad bacteria and creating dysbiosis and that you are feeding the good bacteria. So we talked about how an overgrowth of bad gut bugs or dysbiosis can contribute to mood swings, anxiety, depression, even weight gain, but also it can really affect your immune health. Our immune system is 70% inside our intestinal tract, which means that if you have sick gut bugs, you actually have a poor immune system. So if you don't have a good variety of gut bacteria, it actually makes you susceptible to more infection. When we consume foods that are not rich in fiber, perhaps processed foods and even gluten, that can contribute to poor gut health overall because it doesn't provide enough fiber to have good gut bacteria. But also what it does is it causes intestinal inflammation. This inflammation can contribute to something called leaky gut. Leaky gut is also very much linked to immune health. When we have leaky gut, essentially what this means is we have increased intestinal permeability. This permeability allows the passage of molecules and food particles that don't normally pass through the intestines because they're too large. But when we have swelling, the gaps open and it allows food to pass. When this happens, we actually get food particles inside our bloodstream. This vastly also affects our immune health because there's foreign bodies floating around in our bloodstream which creates a massive immune response. So leaky gut and immune health as well as gut bacteria are all closely related. You do not necessarily have to have leaky gut if you are experiencing dysbiosis, but they definitely can contribute to one another. This increase in intestinal permeability and the passage of food particles into the bloodstream also contribute to allergies and skin problems. So when we have inflammation and an immune response within the body, we often have skin problems as a result, and we often develop allergies to substances that we never experienced allergies to before. So not only are allergies an issue when we have sick gut bugs, also our skin health can suffer. We can often get eczema, psoriasis, and acne as a result of having poor intestinal health. Oftentimes, it is a symptom that leads us to believe that there is something going on. So if you're experiencing chronic skin issues, sometimes you have to look at what's going on inside the gut. So this sounds like a whole lot of doom and gloom, like everyone's got sick gut bugs and everyone's doomed to a life of anxiety, depression, and an expanding waistline. But it's simply not true. This is something that can be prevented as well as treated very easily. So leaky gut is something that we'll touch on in a future video because it does require a little bit more of an intensive treatment, but sick gut bugs, very easily solved. Simple steps to improving our gut health is incorporating more whole foods, consuming less sugar, less gluten, as well as highly refined products. So anything that you find in the interior portion of the grocery store that comes in a package and no longer resembles the product that it originally came from, those are generally foods that we would probably try to avoid. Shopping the perimeter of the grocery store is often a really good idea if you're trying to focus on improving your intestinal health. The fiber-rich foods that you find in the produce department are the best friend of your good gut bacteria. Good gut bacteria loves fiber. It's actually what they eat. So if you want to feed good bacteria and starve the bad bacteria, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to eat lots of fiber-rich foods, but that also includes whole grains, quinoa, rice, brown rice, sweet potato, anything that's fibrous, including carbohydrate sources, is a great option. Another amazing food group for our intestinal health is fermented foods. When we ferment foods, we essentially create food for our good gut bacteria. Fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut are actually excellent sources for food or food sources for your good gut bacteria. Incorporating things like coconut oil or MCT oil actually improves the health of the good gut bacteria. They contain something called caprylic acid. Caprylic acid actually helps to feed good bacteria and starve out the bad bacteria. So not only is it a medium chain triglyceride that provides an excellent fuel source for the body, as well as supporting brain health, it actually improves your gut health overall. Additionally, you can incorporate a daily probiotic. Probiotics are very safe and very effective at improving overall gut health. So the probiotics that I would always recommend are third-party tested, as well as containing at least 10 billion cultures. As many strains as possible is also something that would be of benefit. And I also always encourage that you rotate your probiotics every 8 to 12 weeks. That ensures that you have the maximum amount of strains possible and that you're always rotating. The more gut bugs we have, the stronger our gut health is, which means our immune health is better, our mental health is better, and overall, we're just awesome.
You sound like you're about to say something like super important.
Yeah. So in conclusion, our gut health is closely linked to our immune system, our allergies, our mental health, and even our waistline. There are a few simple steps that you can take every day that ensure that you have a growth of good bacteria and you're limiting the growth of the bad bacteria. Incorporating daily probiotics, fermented foods, as well as eating whole foods that are fiber rich ensure that we have a healthy microbiome. When our good gut bugs and our bad gut bugs are kept in check, we have mental sharpness, we're alert, we're not fatigued, and we're full of energy. This is what everybody wants. So taking these few simple steps every single day can ensure that you're functioning optimally. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Today we're gonna delve, no, I hate that. Okay. Damn it. Fuck. I'm sweating so bad right now, honestly, like my shirt is soaked. Can you see it?
Yeah, you get it.